This is Badass Billy Gunn, 11-time WWE Tag Team Champion, Intercontinental Champion, Hardcore Champion, and you're listening to ICOPOD. You gotta hear this. And if you're not listening to this, I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
And we're back with episode 75 of ICOPOD. I'm Bob Collins Jr. With me, as always, is Austin Skinner. Austin, how are you doing tonight?
75. We're a bunch of old fucks now.
We are veterans of the podcasting game.
Yeah, we got 1 foot in the grave.
I don't know about that. Not that far. We're like on the bed in the hospital room.
Yeah, we're definitely in the nursing home.
Button to press the button to kill us.
Yeah, we're definitely in the nursing home. Our family is starting to like not visit us so much anymore. Yeah. Like they're definitely like sticking to the holidays.
We're a burden.
The big episodes, like they'll stop in. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, we're like 125 miles away from home, so they're not going to make that trip.
Right. Yeah, like that's not an every weekend, every other day sort of deal. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Hopefully you guys are in a little bit better of a spot on this fabulous Monday, where you will be listening to this wherever and whatever Monday it happens to be. And if you're not listening to us on a Monday, you're fucking up because that's when this show comes out. And if you are not downloading them as soon as they hit the airwaves, I just have no sympathy for you. And when you're in a nursing home, I ain't visiting your ass. So Bob, with that said, episode 75, what do you got for us this week?
Well, I just want to give out a shout out to Mike Campbell, who immediately messaged me after, I think it's episode 72 at this point, to let me know that after our opening for about 3 solid minutes, there's silence before I decide to talk.
Oh no. So
I had to make sure I changed that. So it's the second time I've fooked up.
Was it the unedited?
No, it was edited. It was just like, I guess I didn't move over the audio far enough into the thing.
Oh, so, okay.
But yeah, Campbell with the assist for the save on that.
Oh, see, and you know, the whole thing is, so just to rewind and kind of piggyback on that a little bit, I used to download and listen to our episodes, partly because I'm a narcissist and partly because I'm a perfectionist. So a little bit of Lex Luger, a little bit of Kurt Hennig going on.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure our shit sounded good and there was no fuck ups. Mm-hmm. I believe I did catch one before.
Yeah, that one was when it was silent for like 23 minutes.
Yes. So I did catch that one. However, it's been a while since I was downloading ICOPOD. Kind of fallen off the bandwagon because you see right now in my iTunes library, I have about 5 shows with about 2 shows each backlogged. So that shows you where I'm at in the podcasting game.
Well, I never download ICOPOD because I'm not a narcissist and I don't like the sound of my voice. So,
I mean, yeah,
I'm
same.
not going to listen to myself talk.
Right. Plus, you don't use the iTunes gimmick, right? You don't do that.
No.
Right.
I don't.
Right. So, I mean, that's
I listen to all my podcasts like through YouTube.
That's so weird.
And like Podbean.
You just, what if you're like, not in Wi-Fi? You just use your data for it?
I have unlimited data, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, so I download them on iTunes and I just listen to them whenever. But yeah, so I haven't done that in a while for ICOPOD, so that makes sense. Shout out to Mike again for catching that. But maybe I should start checking in every now and again because in our old age, we're 75 now. In our old age, you know, we make some slip ups.
Well, the thing that pisses me off is that every time, well, the 2 times that this has happened, I'm always informed as soon as I start work. So I can't do anything about it for 9 hours.
God damn it.
And I'm just like at home thinking to myself, fuck my life.
Well, and it's funny too, because then people are turning around on me like, okay, well, why can't Austin do it? Well, simple, folks. I'm not the editing guru. I don't know how to fucking do that.
I don't do editing gurus a stretch. I just literally cut some audio and then put other audio files at the end and in the beginning, and I just save it. It's pretty basic shit. We're not a well-oiled machine here where we have to hire somebody else to cut the audio and then insert another thing. Like if you listen to wrestling 20 years ago, that's like professional A+ grade. Rory probably takes a substantial amount of time to do that. Meanwhile, Bob can probably edit 5 episodes in a matter of about 12 minutes and then just not worry about it for 6 weeks. So
yeah, but you know what? Who's got the cooler fucking logo and name? That's all I'm gonna say.
that's true.
Okay.
ICOPOD is better than wrestling 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And while
sorry.
speaking of wrestling 20 years ago, those rat bastards, I am going to be talking about Great American Bash 1999 this Sunday, June. I don't even know what day it is, 30th, I guess. And that will be out sometime in July, probably. And then again in July, I'm going to the beach 1999, last I knew. Sorry, Rory, if I just twisted your arm to get on that show. But continuing the momentum and consecutive streaks of being on awful WCW shows. I'm really looking forward to talking about it.
Well, I feel like you're kind of horning in on their action there a little bit there, Bob.
Well, I'm actually watching, as I'm doing this, I have my eyes darting upwards as well to watch WCW Nitro from 1999 because there's various things that I'll have to talk about and I want to have a fresh mind. And right now is Sting and Sid Vicious in the main event. So super excited.
So glad you're putting all the energy into a different podcast.
Well, I mean,
This is where we're at,
cooler.
folks.
They're from, the majority of those guys are from England. One of them's a lawyer, Eric, who I'm going to be doing that podcast with Rory on Sunday. You're not a lawyer and you're not from England, so you're not cool. So
You're right, because I'm a podcaster. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck I do.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly. Have you bought, hey, you know what? I'm going to twist this around on you. Have you bought an ICOPOD shirt yet? Go fuck yourself, because I know you haven't. You son of a bitch. I want to be the only one going down to Orlando with an ICOPOD t-shirt because your rat ass hasn't fucking gotten one yet.
One of one, you son bitch. One of one.
Piece of shit.
Who made the fucking website? Okay. Who put the ICOPOD shirt up there so your dumb ass could buy it? All right.
You did, but that's irrelevant.
Okay. Right. Well, so there you go.
Who made us $6? Me.
Hold on. Did you just say us, you son bitch? Because I'm pretty sure the money goes into your fucking account.
Who made himself
paid yourself?
Who made himself $6? I did.
You bastard.
They don't know that I'm double dipping. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, they know. They're fucking gonna come kick your door in.
No, it's okay.
Red Bubble Squad's coming to beat your ass.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna. I'm gonna look like a red bubble when they're done with me.
You're damn right. It'll be a
Face
puddle
all
on your
swollen.
floor.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Sons of bitches.
Well, speaking of Mike Campbell, though, he's messaged me on Facebook a few times.
Okay.
He said, please make sure to keep the Vince Russo bashing thing a regular occurrence.
Oh, so he likes that. Okay.
Yeah, and since he's, probably 80% of our listening group,
Yikes.
I decided that Mike Campbell's a smart man. So, before we get into our usual routine, why not take a trip to the land of Vince Russo?
What is Vinny Rue talking about this week?
And here's the thing that this really is great for, because today there was a huge announcement, June 27th, a huge announcement.
Okay.
For WWE, that Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff, two guys that were monumental in the rise of professional wrestling in the 90s,
Right.
are now back with the company. Paul Heyman kind of, I guess, overseeing creative for Raw. Bischoff will see over creative for Fox. And Vince Russo is a pretty big name for 90s creativity, is the only one not brought back.
Well, look who has won the pony on that one. And I'll take that from Jim Cornette. Because who's the one selling absolutely horrendous paintings on eBay?
That would be Vince Russo.
Correct. So he does not need the WWE's money. He's making hundreds on his own.
Right. And that's why I don't think he's all that upset. So remember that Disco Inferno painting that we had kind of
Christ
insulted, and
wasn't it up at like $500 or something?
I don't know, but what do you think it's at right now? There's 3 days left for bidding? What do you think the Disco Inferno, what a bunch of schmucks painting is going for?
Well, whatever bunch of schmucks is fucking bidding on it has to have bid that son of a bitch up to $1,500.
Well, you're giving him a bit too much credit.
Oh, okay.
So it's not that drastic. Instead, it is up to 600.
Okay. I mean, well,
there have been 55 bids on it.
Who the fuck's entrapped in a bidding war over this hunk of shit?
I don't know. There's 37 people watching it.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, they're all Vince Russo.
That'd be funny if he's been jacking up his own.
Yeah, he's the one shooing in the bids, the son of a bitch.
That would be classic.
$600. That's $599 too many.
Yeah. But guess what? There is a new painting.
Oh, fuck you out of this. Send me the link.
So I'm going to send it to you here in a minute. My
see
Google
this
Chrome
shit.
has been acting a little slow today.
Yeah, you're skipping a little bit. I wasn't going to call you out, but there it is.
Is it really skipping on you?
A little bit, yeah.
That sucks. Okay, here we go.
Oh, okay. Let's see what this is. Okay, quotation marks here. John Wick. Vince Russo, WWE, WCW, TNA original painting. Let me just break this down for you here. All right, so it literally is like a blue, aqua, purple background, just stripes painted in the background. In red, that you can barely read, spells John Wick to the side. And mind you, it looks like it says WKK. I think that's what it looks like for the last name.
It really does, because he put the C at a weird angle.
Yeah, there's no dissertation between the K and the C and the I. So there you go. And this painting, I can only describe as if you've ever seen the painting where it was an original painting of Jesus from like medieval times. And they hired this lady to do a restoration. And she literally turns it into like a horrible fucking cartoon face. And it's like destroys the painting. That's what this looks like. Because the chin, it looks like he's got 3 chins under his beard. He's got like a triple chin. The lips literally look like the end of like a vacuum machine when you do the attachments and you put the little sucker on the end. And it's bright fucking red. This is horrendous. And this is probably one of the worst ones we've seen. The eyes are way too fucking close together. And they're like really high up the face. Like the nose is a good inch away from the eyes.
Yeah.
So that's really weird. Yeah, this is, I would say it's better than the disco one, but not by much. The hair looks okay.
Yeah, the hair is good, but the eyes are way too far up.
Yeah, the hair is only like 10% of the painting, though.
Yeah.
So you really can't give him too much credit.
Was he going for like a Matrix vibe in the back?
I really don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a fucking $2 strip club, like dance lights in the background, or if he's like standing in front of a psychedelic waterfall. I'm just really confused by this. Well, first of all, what does Vince Russo do with his daily life? How does he have time to do all these fucking paintings? He must not do much of shit.
He's an unemployed former WWE writer.
He is unemployed, though. He's not working. He's not Duke the Dumpster Drozy working a garbage truck gimmick or something like that.
I can't imagine that Vince Russo has
a 9 to 5-er.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
Okay. Well, I mean, fair enough. That painting shit, and I would not spend currently $107 on it because that's what it's going for, let alone $7. So we will see about that one. That one's going to be up for another while. Hopefully we can get you guys an update as far as the Disco Inferno one goes. What was the other one we looked at?
The Meltzer one?
Oh, yeah. Where's that?
The Meltzer one was funny.
The Meltzer one was funny. It was okay.
That one has definitely been sold.
Okay, it has sold. I'd like to know what that went for.
I don't know if it tells you like past like things though.
If you go to the listing, it should show you that this listing is ended, and it should show you the sold price.
Well, I don't have the list. I'd have to go through his Twitter page, and I don't want to waste my time with that.
No, yeah. Fair enough. We don't want to waste any more time on that. Yeah. This is such a bizarre, like, okay, think of it this way. Who else would we be able to laugh at as much as Vince Russo, a guy with minimal talent as far as creativity goes, I would say.
I mean, he's
minimal. I mean, how many ideas did he shoot out that probably got shot down? Well, I would say maybe 3 ideas. 3 ideas out of 10 probably got through. And those 3 ideas were drastically changed.
Here's the thing. So I have a soft spot for WCW 2000 because he lost a shit ton of guys like really before he even got there.
Yeah.
And like he was able to kind of make some guys relevant. Like Chronic, sure, it's like a ripoff of APA for the most part.
Right.
But
like, I personally
that was a big act for WCW standards, I guess.
Sure. I mean, I personally think Vince Russo gets a little too much credit. Personally.
I think that his success in WWF has a lot to do with the fact that for like a roster, they were like the Yankees. You have Stone Cold, you have The Rock, you have Mankind, Undertaker, Kane, whatever, all these people, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. You know, it would have been insane not to be able to write for Mick Foley
and succeed.
Because
Mick Foley's going to get it over.
Yeah.
In the Attitude Era.
Yeah, no limitations, so you can do whatever.
Right.
And then you have a guy like Vince McMahon who, whether people like him or not, is a genius for how he markets wrestling and all that stuff. Being the guy to kind of filter through the nonsense.
Sure, steer the ship, you know.
Yeah.
And not only that, you have to think of it this way too. We're not when we say Vince Russo as a creative writer, it's not the same creative writer as we look at today where they literally write the promo and you have to read the promo and say the promo.
Verbatim.
Exactly. Attitude Era, they're getting bullet points. If Vince Russo can't give bullet points to The Rock, well, he shouldn't be doing anything in wrestling. Because really, who couldn't give bullet points to The Rock, and how could The Rock not get them over? Rock could have gone out there and said, "I'm a big crybaby bitch," and would like still be over.
That could be his new catchphrase.
Sure. So like,
I'm a big crybaby bitch, and the fans are like, I'm a big crybaby bitch.
Right. So I mean, again, I personally think Vince Russo gets a little too much credit when it comes to his creative influence. You know. So with all that said, I just it baffles me that this guy is selling paintings who has really no, I would assume, no classical training or any sort of schooling.
Guy, wasn't he?
He was like a Video King owner or like franchise owner. Like,
and then he wrote a letter to Linda, probably in all caps, and then he got a job.
Yeah.
And then he apparently showed, although I think Bruce Pritchard has kind of been like, this isn't how it went down, but Russo like showed him a Raw magazine and Vince McMahon read it. I was like, this is what the TV is going to be like. This is phenomenal. I love it. And that's how he became the writer of WWE television.
Right.
I wish it was that easy now, because I'd try it.
Oh, dude, you'd be in already.
I would try it.
Yeah, you'd be in.
Hey, Vince, look at this angle where I have Doink the Clown cut the brakes to Bob Holly's car and he crashes. And then he loses in the end. It's great. All right.
Great shit.
I love it. Attempted murder. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just, we live in a very weird world where people are willing to pay hundreds of dollars for really pieces of shit that their 3-year-old daughter could probably fucking paint up in art class. Something you'd usually hang on the fridge as like a sympathy. Oh, that's cute. But then you either put it in your junk drawer after a week or two, or you just toss it out because she's going to make a new one in school. So you'll constantly have a revolving fucking gallery on your fridge. Yeah. And yet these people, they got to be diehard Vince Russo fans. if there is such a thing, which I'm sure
there is. He's got a following for sure.
Right. So these are these people who are going onto eBay, taking their fucking wallet out or hooking up their PayPal and saying, listen, Vince Russo doesn't mean shit to most people, but he means something to me. And goddamn it, I'm going to own a piece of his fantastic artwork. And thus, there you have it. No, thank you. Not interested. And again, if I were to ever purchase one, it would be for the sole purpose of immediately shipping it to Jim Cornette with a letter that says, hey, Jim, please shoot a video of you doing whatever you want to this piece of Vince Russo original artwork. And I would leave it up to Jim Cornette to come up with something very unique and probably highly, highly entertaining.
And inappropriate. I'm tempted to do something like that.
Yeah. Because you know he was going to do something.
Like Vince Russo bragging, like, oh, I just got a $1,200 payment for this painting. And then I'd be like, yeah. Well, here's Jim Cornette just massacring it.
Right. Either like pissing on it or letting his little dog shit on it. Something I wonder if
Russo
that.
would like just have a complete meltdown if that happened.
We just close up shop on eBay. I ain't doing no more paintings.
Bullshit. I put so much effort into this.
That'd be awesome. Would be awesome.
Well, I figured we get that out of the way. So I'm sure people have been, especially Mike Campbell, were heavily interested for a Vince Russo update.
And we're doing it for you guys, folks. We're saving you the time and effort of going on to Vince Russo's Twitter or wherever else he exists.
Yeah.
To find this just ridiculous shit. And we're bringing it to the forefront for you for your entertainment. So, yeah, I mean, if he wants it to be a weekly segment, I'm sure he might not be the only one. Can't say that I'm sure of it.
I'm going to look into see what like Virgil's up to because I don't think we'll see Virgil again on Raw. Until like 2010 or something when he's with DiBiase. But so maybe I'll look on his Twitter and see if he's got anything interesting. We can have hey, what's Virgil up to?
Yeah.
Maybe a Yo Bro segment.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with the world of Vinny Roo and the Vincent Van Russo art pieces that we keep getting. Because, boy, they're gems.
Yeah, they are very easy on the eyes to look at.
Oh, yeah, nothing offensive, anything stylistically.
Absolutely not. They are beautiful paintings, and you should definitely buy one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's get right into the show here. Observer notes, all this great stuff. So remember on the May 9th edition of Raw how there was a Razor Ramon versus Quang match?
Hey, yo.
For a King of the Ring qualifier.
Yeah, fuck Quang.
Yeah, well, Quang's not the greatest. He's got a good heel kick. That's about it.
Give me a fucking break.
That got a 2.5 rating, which is the lowest of the year.
Hell yeah, it is, because Quang was promoted.
That's right. I don't think Quang is a good draw. Although he had a match with Bret that got a decent rating. So
yeah, that did happen.
Bret.
That did happen. Speaking of Quang, do you remember how he got his name, Bob?
Yeah, because Yokozuna stumbling around the ring and then falling into the post and it goes Quang.
Damn, you're good. That's it. You fucking got it.
That's exactly how it is.
That's right.
Diesel is currently dealing with a shoulder injury, but that should not keep him from the ring. It's just a little bit of a bothersome, I guess, for him right now.
Big cool daddy.
Way to go, King.
Fuck.
You nailed it. We gave you 3 words and you fucked them up. The WWF Tag Team Champions, Headshrinkers, they've been having house show matches with the Smoking Guns and have surprisingly been getting strong cheers in those title matches, which I don't know why Dave would consider that to be a surprise since the Headshrinkers are in fact babyfaces now. I don't know if that implies that the Guns are heels or they're getting treated as heels, but they are getting strong cheers in those matches.
Well, it is a little surprising. I mean, because look at the turnaround. Like the Headshrinkers were not nice guys for a very long time. So for them to make this change so fucking quick and so, I hate to say it, unconvincingly, I think people are just cheering the shit out of them because they know, hey, they're going to beat the fuck out of their opponents and they're pretty good. And now they're the champions. So, okay, we like them. I don't think it's necessarily the story. I think the story is heavily flawed. I think it's more or less the performers. Hey, like, hey, we respect these guys. They beat people's asses. Yeah, I like these guys. I mean, that's what it is for me. If I'm going to a WWF house show at this time, I'm cheering them because they're badasses. They just won the belts. And I know I'm probably going to get a somewhat semi-decent tag match. So that's where I'm at with it. So I guess in that sense, yeah, it might be a little bit surprising. But at the same time, I'm right on board with those people. So
I like the Headshrinkers. I just would have done their face turn a little different, not so abrupt.
yeah, more
And
natural.
And I'm sure that these matches with the guns have been pretty good because of the house show matches that I've reviewed. They tend to steal the show, arguably, because there are 4 guys that are always trying to
impress.
Do the best they can, get good pops, and keep a job. So
Sure.
can't go wrong with those. There is a Summerfest 94 tour set for set for July 11th through July 15th in Germany. And the, I guess, tentative cards feature the following matches: Lex Luger against Crush, Diesel against Razor Ramon, Doink versus Jeff Jarrett, Mabel against Bam Bam Bigelow, Alundra Blaze against Luna Vachon, Smoking Guns against the Rock and Roll Express, which may be changed to the Heavenly Bodies, and Adam Bomb taking on Sparky Plug.
Interesting, although it's not too much of a stretch because I feel like we're kind of going that way. And it's so funny too because I feel like usually when they're in Europe, they don't have the strongest cards because they could put any Joe Schmo out there and sell the place out because they're so hungry for WWF shit.
Well, the thing is, like for Germany especially, you could have the shittiest show,
right?
But as long as you have Bret Hart on it,
right,
you're going to sell it out because he, for whatever reason, was a huge draw over there.
Sure.
But he's not even on this lineup.
Well, and it's, I mean, going back to my point, it's pretty heavily packed with talent. I mean, there's a lot of them are featured guys. So,
This looks like a pretty weak card to me.
I mean, sure, like the card, but the performers themselves on the card, I think, are relatively strong. I mean, don't forget, we were getting sometimes enhancement guys were getting sent over there.
Yeah, but here, let's dissect this for a minute. You're saying that these guys are relatively strong. Lex Luger has been booked abysmally. Crush, awful.
Both are names right now, though.
Well, yeah, but they're free falling. Diesel's a champion, sure. Razor Ramon, all right, he's got some man. Yeah. Then you have a guy like fucking Doink.
They're promoting him still heavily.
Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff
stagnant. Mabel, I guess, could be considered on the rise. Bam Bam Bigelow has been disappointing for 6 months.
Abysmal.
Blaze and Luna.
Arguably nothing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's probably the only match where it's like competitive and you might like, I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah.
Smoking Guns against the Rock and Roll Express, which may be changed to the Heavenly Bodies. That could be decent if it's the Bodies, not Express, I guess.
Right.
And then Adam Bomb, Sparky Plug, 2 guys that
have no direction. Yeah. No, I mean, I think you make fair points there, but again, at the same time, for me, this isn't a stretch. Like, I feel like a lot of that stuff is they're already telegraphing it. So sure. You know what I mean? I'm sure they won't do too badly in Germany. At the same time, though, there's shit on there that I don't want to see easily.
I don't think that's a show I would want to see under any circumstance.
Yeah.
Which will be funny when we get to this tour and I read off the house show and I'm like, oh, I'd go to that.
Well, and that's the thing, man, because I was just thinking about it. Honestly, and we're gonna get into this because I'm gonna like really get into it later. But this whole WrestleMania Revenge tour, that's all they fucking talk about.
Yep.
All the time.
It really is.
But when they show footage and they talk about the angles and talk about the matches and we go over some of the cards, I'd probably be going to a lot of those shows. They got me suckered in.
Yeah.
So if they're going to treat this next upcoming tour like the one they're treating now, which I doubt, who knows? Maybe I'm making a trip to Germany for a couple of days. We'll see.
You would be a dedicated fan to do such a thing.
Well, that's what I am, man. Nothing but dedicated over here on this end of the microphone.
Well, you know who's not dedicated?
Who's that, Bob?
That would be Vince McMahon.
Oh.
He's not dedicated to man on a mission. And you might be asking me, what the hell does that mean? Well, remember when I told you that Mo had injured his knee in a match with Owen Hart?
Yes. Yes.
Well, it turns out he's not actually injured. And that was just a way for them to break Mabel away from him for a singles run.
Oh. So what's Mo doing?
I don't know if Mo knows. He might be just on the sidelines for a couple of months, and then maybe he'll come back, maybe not. But he is apparently not legitimately injured.
So you're telling me he don't know what he's doing?
You don't know.
Yikes.
Yo, Mo, what you up to over there? I don't know.
I would love to be just heartbroken over this, but Mo, thank you.
Hopefully this is not the end of Mo. First we had the end of Virgil. I don't know if I can handle another bald-headed African-American not being on my television screen.
Excuse me, hey, he has a mohawk, okay? I take great offense to that.
He's mostly bald head.
Well, so. I take great offense to that.
Fine. A mohawked African-American.
Thank you.
That doesn't actually rap and doesn't have any dance moves.
Or skill in the ring.
Or skill. It's like Crime Time, but in 1994. Let's go to House Show notes.
Yeah, let's skip over that.
The WWF held a show in Anaheim, California at the Arrowhead Pond on May 14th, 1994. And it was in front of 10,900 fans. And the card for that event featured the following: Adam Bomb taking on the 1-2-3 Kid, WWF Women's Champion Alundra Blaze defending against Lalani Kai, WWF Tag Team Champions the Headshrinkers defending against the Smoking Guns, Lex Luger in singles action against Crush, Jeff Jarrett squaring off against Doink, IRS competing against Tatanka, Yokozuna squaring off against Earthquake. In the main event saw WWF World Champion Bret Hart defending against Owen Hart.
All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to this one, but I'm taking a piss during Doink Jarrett, and I'm taking a shit during IRS Tatanka. Because I'm already in the bathroom, my minds will stay.
I was gonna say they're back-to-back matches, so you're just gonna stay in there.
Yeah, so I'm at the urinal. I probably ate like a bad hot dog, and I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking here already. I'm going into the stall. Other than that, I'm good. Like a little upset stomach, kind of got to pee. Rest of the show, I'm okay with. So I'm gonna go to this, but I got my breaks planned out. Like I know I'm eating my hot dog. Second match in, I know I'm gonna have to take a shit by that IRS match for sure. So I got the shit planned out. But
that's good forward thinking.
Yeah, but I'll go. If you're gonna twist my arm, I'll go.
I'll check it out, largely because pretty much every match has some sort of reason behind it for you to be invested into it. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's not too cluttered. You know, there's only one tag match. Everything else is singles. I think I can live with that.
Main event is what?
Bret and Owen.
Okay, I thought you said Diesel. No, yeah, I'm going to that.
Let's go to some syndication. On the May 14th edition of Superstars, WWF World Champion Bret Hart accepted the challenge issued by WWF Intercontinental Champion Diesel. So it looks like, in fact, we will be getting a Diesel versus Bret Hart championship match.
I'm so bittersweet on this, dude, because since match 1 with Diesel, I've been sold to an extent.
Right, you were. Even after his kind of disappointing first match, you were like, I can see why.
Yeah, sold. But it's to an extent, though. So I'm sold as far as the IC level.
Okay.
There is no legitimate reason for me why Diesel, the IC champion, who, mind you, he just won it, needs to face Bret Hart for the WWF Championship. Diesel is unproven still. Even though I'm sold, he's like, you can't. And the whole thing is, it's not even the fact, okay, push him to the moon. Cool, right? You know he's not winning the belt from Bret. You know he's not. He can't. It would literally make no sense.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, what is realistically the benefit that's going to come out of this for Diesel?
He's working with a main event guy.
He's like getting the rub, sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, this is arguably as hot as Diesel might be for the year, let's say. Let's assume, right? He's just became the IC champ, riding a high. He's still undefeated, right? Right? So whatever.
Has he not lost yet?
I don't remember. No, because I think he was beaten Survivor Series technically.
Well,
whatever.
yeah, in a singles match, though. He has
Right. So, in that sense, arguably, maybe for 94, who are we to say this isn't his highest point? And then he gets beat by Bret. So if you can't beat Bret at your best, you ain't going to beat him. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, for me, like we said last week, the week before, you're booking yourself into a corner.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do with that right now. There's no benefit for that.
You're not putting the strap on Diesel right now. There's no way.
There's no way.
Obvious that it's Bret Owen is the ultimate goal here.
Yeah.
So you're not going to switch it. But then you have Diesel lose by submission or anything. The Bret clean kind of hurts him. So it's like a match where you really shouldn't have booked it. But
well, not only that, right? And then you got to think of, okay, let's think of screwed finishes. If you do where Diesel and Bret are just brawling on the outside and they get counted out, that's stupid, because the whole reason Diesel's made this challenge is because he wants the belt. So he's not going to get himself counted out. So you can't do that. And then what do you do? Okay, maybe Shawn will get interference in. Well, now you're inserting Shawn into the Bret timeline, and then it's like, no, we don't need that right now. Bret's got like 3 other feuds going on. So you can't really do that. Unless you have a screwed finish where maybe Shawn causes Diesel the match or something like that. It's just, there's so many things that you have to X out with this that you can't really do. That I don't know. I'm very much looking forward to the match because I don't know what to expect. I know what the outcome is going to be when all the dust settles, but how we get there is going to be very interesting.
I think there is definitely an interest in the match, but the interest is like, which direction are they going to go? More so than it's going to be a great match. It's more like, where are they going to go with this? How are you going to get yourself out of this?
Yes. And that's where I'm at with it. Yeah. And that's as a Diesel fan. That's where I'm at with it.
No, I'm in the same boat as you.
So
on the same edition of Superstars, Mabel, remember they faked an injury for Mo, so it's just Mabel. He squared off against Quebecer Pierre in a King of the Ring qualifying match. This is how the match goes. The match between these two has a stipulation where no managers are being allowed at ringside. So there'll be no Oscar, there'll be no Johnny Polo. It's just Mabel and Pierre. Pierre attacks Mabel before the bell and stomps away on the big man in the corner. Pierre hits a missile drop kick off the top, but Mabel kicks out at 2. Mabel slams Pierre off the top rope, followed by a scoop slam. Then he leaps off the middle rope only to miss a big splash. Pierre hits a top rope leg drop, but can't put Mabel away. Pierre fails on a scoop slam, and Mabel nearly pins Pierre after landing on top. Mabel proceeds to plant Pierre with a sidewalk slam, and he wins the match in a relatively quick encounter between the two. Pretty much a simple to the point, like less than 4-minute match, it seemed like. What did you think of this match between Mabel and Pierre?
Just a couple of things here. Number one, Oscar joined us via Titantron instead of coming out with Mabel. And I didn't know what was more annoying, him on the Titantron or him live, like in the arena.
Probably both.
Probably both. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement there. I have to be honest, I didn't hate this match. I would say these two are going to be the stronger of the two in their respective tag teams as far as in-ring stuff, for my own interest, I guess. Although I do like Jacques and find him more charismatic than Pierre, of course. my whole thing is, and like I said, the match was fine. You know, we get the finish, whatever. As soon as we get the 3 count, Oscar comes out and he's rapping. And all I can think of is, holy fuck, we're going to have to put up with this BS for the King of the Ring tournament. And if Mabel goes far, it's going to be every fucking match that he's in.
Yep.
And that blows. Like, I do not want to see that. So it makes me want Mabel to lose in the first round, because I do not want to see Oscar more than once at all at King of the Ring.
You don't even want to see him once at King of the Ring, but we couldn't get so lucky.
Exactly. So for me, man, I say it's bittersweet, because personally, let's say Pierre wins. Pierre, another cool, like, wild card guy. Like, what the fuck's Pierre doing in this? Is he going to win? You know, no. But will he make it maybe to the second round? Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if Mabel. I give Pierre more credibility than Mabel right now. The guy just was a tag champ.
So.
He was just the tag champ.
I just thinking about it as you were describing your thoughts there. I would have had Scott Steiner beat IRS, have Pierre beat Mabel, and have those guys meet in the first round, and you're probably getting a pretty solid singles match.
Exactly. So,
but instead we go with the worst options of Mabel and IRS. Genius.
Yeah, like exactly. And that's the only kind of bummer that I'm coming out of this. But again, I'm trying to give Mabel a shot because I know you're kind of interested. So I'm trying to give Mabel the benefit of the doubt. But as long as fucking Oscar's around, or fucking Mo, even if he's backstage, that motherfucker's in the arena. I'm keeping him at an arm's length. I ain't getting too close. I ain't getting too invested. So that's where I'm at with it. But it wasn't a bad match, you know. So I want to make sure to get that clear, because usually I would take a shit all over this. I'm not going to.
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
It was a decent a little 4-minute match,
sure,
for however long it was.
Sure.
But it was just better options to go for. But we have no other option than to talk about the May 16th, 1994 edition of Monday Night Raw, which was taped from Burlington, Vermont. We start off with a video package hyping up the Yokozuna Earthquake sumo match. Earthquake's history of sumo wrestling is brought up and shown. And again, tonight, Earthquake will be squaring off against Yokozuna in a sumo match. I believe there was like a side-by-side of these guys angrily looking into the camera to get you amped up for the first ever, to my knowledge, sumo match in WWF history.
And boy, I can't wait to break that one down.
Well, we'll be there in just a few short minutes. We go to the Raw opening video, and then we head to commentary where Vince McMahon and Randy Savage are hanging out. And, of course, they hype up the sumo match between Yokozuna and Earthquake.
And right here, dude, I'm sick of hearing about it already.
Just as I said that, I feel like we've talked about it too much already.
I'm fucking sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of seeing the fucking promo. I'm sick of the fucking sumo match. Fuck off with the sumo match. It's already too much. Like, I'm fucking over it.
As soon as I just said that for like the third time.
Christ.
You gotta be kidding me. We get it. There's a sumo match taking place.
Like, who the fuck is jumping out of their seat for a goddamn not even close to a real sumo match? Like, who's fucking excited for that?
Yeah, probably nobody.
Yeah. Nobody.
Well, are you jumping out of your seat for the next qualifying match for the 1994 King of the Ring, or what?
Before we get there, and this just occurred to me.
Okay.
You want to know what I'd be more excited about?
What?
Jim Cornette throws a challenge out. Says, okay, Earthquake, you think you're so bad. You want to come back. You want to make a lot of noise, but we know you can't back it up. You're over the hill, right? Next week on Raw, we're going to have back-to-back matches. Earthquake's going to go first, and he's got to fight 3 enhancement guys. Okay? And his match is timed. We're going to see how quick you can do it, how quickly you can beat him. Yokozuna is going to take on 4 enhancement guys. and we're going to time Yoko's match. We're going to give you a handicap because we know you need it. You've been out of the ring for so long. We know you're rusty. So we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And whoever finishes off their poor saps quicker is arguably the better giant in the WWF, right? So you have Earthquake beat the guys in 2 minutes. Not even. A minute. He wins. Couple moves, knocks all the guys down, pins all of them at once. A minute, right? Then you have Yoko go next. And you have Yoko hit literally one move on each guy, and he pins everybody in 20 seconds. Just kills them. And then it's like, holy fuck, like Yoko's still the man. And then Earthquake comes down, confronts him, is like, no. And then you have like a face, or do something like that. Like, you want to prove you're the best guy. Let's see how quickly you can fucking do the most damage possible. Or something like that. Like, I'd be way more into that. Like 2 wicked good squash matches with these enhancement guys. And then like a blow off to close out the show. Over a fucking sumo match. That's not going to mean shit. That's going to be shitty. And then that's what? That's our blow off of the feud. Like, I don't even know. Is that the blow off of the feud? Like a sumo match? Like, I don't even know.
How did this even start? I forgot already.
It came out of nowhere. They brought up Earthquake's sumo background. And wasn't there like a face-off backstage, like Yoko and Earthquake, or like Earthquake bumped into him and they started just yelling at each other or something? It was something stupid.
No, that was with Adam Bomb.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah. This feels really
it's out of nowhere.
forced.
It is. It's wicked forced. But regardless, if you're going to make something out of it, do not give us a fucking sumo match. Like, nobody's paying for a ticket to see a sumo match. A WWF sumo match. Like, no. Do something interesting where it's going to be impactful. Like, holy shit, these guys are 2 badasses. Yeah, it took John Tenta 45 seconds, but he still beat 3 guys' asses in 45 seconds.
I have a great idea.
Let's hear it.
You make the feud a #1 contenders match for the world title. And then you develop the Ultimate X. You get the wires, you put them up top, and you look at these 540-pound motherfuckers, and you're like, listen, buddy, if you want to be the #1 contender, you better climb those ropes at the top of the fucking ceiling and get that damn briefcase. And then the trick is that the wires aren't strong enough. So anytime they go up to do it, they just collapse. Every time. And then the match ends in a no contest.
Well, your idea was way more sound than mine.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm going with yours. But
that's the trick. And then they can form an alliance. So they can be like, listen, we're 2 fat dudes and you bullied us, and now we're gonna bully your whole competition.
Can that be their tag name? 2 fat dudes?
2 fat dudes.
And it's spelled
why not? It's just like what? 2, yeah, PH, of course.
PHAT, and then dudes is DOODZ.
Yeah, dudes.
2 fat dudes.
2 fat dudes. Yeah, Virgil can make a return to be the manager.
He's gonna come back under like a pseudo name of one skinny dude.
Yeah, and then
he's the manager.
Every time like their theme music will start, it'll just be Virgil Day. Yo, bro, who's ready for 2 fat dudes? And then Yoko and Earthquake just flopping out. Like,
instead of Oscar, you get fucking Virgil doing shit.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, what's the problem with this?
I mean,
genius.
Right? If they were smart, they would do that. And it all stems from the Ultimate X match.
Yeah. Which wasn't developed till like 9 years later, but an entirely different company.
Regardless. Yeah. Regardless. Yeah, man. I'm so over hearing about the sumo match. It's okay. I get it's unique, right? First ever. Cool. Something different. But at the same time, it's something different because nobody's ever wanted to see it before or asked for it.
Yeah, no one's asked for it.
Right. So
could you imagine fans in like 1987
filling out surveys like, please show us a fucking sumo match?
What's a match you want to see? Well, I would love to see Hulk Hogan defend against Andre the Giant in a sumo match. That'd be fun. It's like, no.
Like, who filled that out? Yeah, who wrote that?
Is that a joke? No, we're not going to do a fucking sumo match. Yeah, here we are 7 years later doing a sumo match.
And it's like a Raw feud. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You're wasting valuable TV time on a... It's like, what the fuck, man? I don't get it.
It's okay.
I don't get it.
It's great. It's great, compelling television. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Well, the excitement doesn't end there. Let's go to our first match. It is a qualifier for the 1994 King of the Ring tournament. Sparky Plug, Thurman Plug, Thurman Sparky, Thurman Plug.
Bob fucking Holly.
Bob fucking Holly taking on Bam-Bam Bigelow. Bigelow shoves Plug through the middle rope to the floor early on. Plug with a clothesline and dropkick to send Bigelow to the floor. Bigelow misses a headbutt coming off the ropes. Bigelow catches Plug in midair and slams him to the mat for a near fall. Bigelow runs into a big boot in the corner, and Plug delivers several right hands until Bigelow stops Plug with a kick to the back of the head for a 2 count. Bigelow with a falling headbutt for a near fall, and he hits a scoop slam and then connects with another headbutt coming off the ropes. Bigelow misses a running attack in the corner. Plug with a running bulldog and a DDT. Plug goes to the top rope, connects with a flying crossbody for a 2 count. Luna trips Plug as he comes off the ropes, which allows Bigelow to deliver a clothesline to Plug, and then connects with a slingshot headbutt from the apron back into the ring to win the match. So Bigelow is advancing into the 1994 King of the Ring tournament. What did you think of Bigelow and Sparky Thurman Plug Holly to start off the show?
Well, we're going to take it right from the top, Bob. The thing that kills me most about Bam Bam Bigelow, he's coming right. So here we go. He's making his entrance. He's coming through like these badass like red lights that they've got in the arena or whatever. Bam Bam and Luna is like a star package. Like they look the part. Bam Bam looks the part. He comes off like a mean, tough guy. And then is booked like shit. And like not in a believable way at all. So that bums me out to start. And the first sentence I have for this match is Bam Bam needs this win. Needs it. And how pathetic is that to say for a guy who's been here for months compared to a guy who literally just debuted and realistically should probably need this win more than him. But that's not the case.
Right.
So that's kind of where I was with this. And as we went through, I mean, they did have a pretty competitive matchup. There was a couple different near falls. Luna calls Plug a crash dummy on the outside, which I thought was ironic because Crash Holly isn't here yet. So I thought that was kind of a nice coincidence, I guess. The only thing I couldn't get behind is Bam Bam not being able to put Plug away. Like, I don't buy that. Regardless of his booking. I just visually, I don't buy that. Whatever. We went through the match. Bam Bam hits a horrible, like, slingshot headbutt from the apron for the finish. Kind of gets hung up in the ropes. Just didn't look good. We got no replay for that finish, which was for the better because they probably knew it didn't come off very clean. So it's a bummer that Bam Bam didn't come out looking a little bit stronger going into the tournament, which again, I feel like he kind of needed, but at least he got the win at the bare minimum. So I think we got the right outcome. Execution wasn't great. Match wasn't anything special necessarily. But hopefully, because let's think back to last year's King of the Ring, right? Bam Bam makes it to the fucking finals. Okay. If Bam Bam loses in the first round, we know where he's fallen from. Quite a bit. So we'll see. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Bam Bam progresses through the tournament, if at all. So, like I said, I do think the right guy went through here, but I'm still not totally behind Bam Bam because he's here struggling with Plug and he's had such poor booking leading up to this. So we'll see. Hopefully this is the resurgence of Bam Bam Bigelow, but I'm not staying too hopeful for that, unfortunately.
This probably would have been better if Sparky had any type of crowd support.
Sure.
Because he had some decent offense going in. The crowd was they just didn't care.
They were dead. Yeah, they were dead.
And I feel like the slingshot headbutt was supposed to be a splash, but like you mentioned, Bigelow did get caught in the ropes a little bit.
Yeah.
A poor looking move, but
yeah.
I'm just glad that Bigelow went over. So I mean, Sparky would probably maybe be a better in-ring opponent for somebody on pay-per-view.
Which
but Bigelow
I thought
needs
of.
to be established. He's an established guy. He's a bigger guy. He should be having that type of victory. But
right.
A rather lackluster opener to start off the show, I have to say.
I agree.
Well, luckily, Todd Pettengill is here to help with the entertainment aspect of this show, and he is joining us for another King of the Ring report.
Oh, good. Can't wait, Bob.
Pettengill mentions that Bret Hart, of course, has accepted Diesel's challenge, and so here's the card thus far for the King of the Ring. Bret Hart will, in fact, defend the WWF World Championship against WWF Intercontinental Champion Diesel. And I believe Todd points out that this is only for the WWF World Championship. So Bret has everything to lose. Diesel has nothing to lose and has everything to gain. Also on this show, Roddy Piper will be returning to the ring for the first time since I believe WrestleMania 8 in April of 92 to take on Jerry Lawler. Lawler apparently insulted children who are in a Canadian hospital, and that is the reason as to why Piper is coming out of retirement. Here is how the King of the Ring tournament bracket is shaping up as being.
Really quick before we get to the bracket.
Okay.
Touching on this Piper and King thing.
Sure.
It's very obvious that the whole point of this is so that Piper can put this charity over. Like that is 100% the reason this is happening.
That's the vibe I'm getting from it.
100%, right? So it's even to the point where Todd brings up the kids in the hospital or whatever, and then we get a graphic that shows the P.O. box in case we want to donate.
Yeah.
So like wicked big eye roll there for me. And then they say, 100% of the proceeds are going to the children's cancer thing, which again, I kind of don't buy. Especially shady Vince McMahon, early 90s Vince McMahon. Like, he's probably skimming off of the top of those.
You really think he would do that?
I think he would do it. They do it with the Susan G. Komen shit and stuff.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Okay.
It's for breast cancer.
Okay, Vince. So yeah, it's so cringeworthy, like publicity shit again. And whether or not it's Piper who's pushed this thing through all the way and like has fought for this or not, it just comes off forced. Like really forced. So I wanted to make mention that we literally got a graphic and that Todd asked us, hey, Piper's not the only one in this fight. Help us donate too, or whatever.
Yeah, like join
the fight or whatever.
Yeah, join Piper's fight.
Yeah. And that's exactly, what we got. So I wanted to make mention of that before we skipped over it.
I gotcha. So the King of the Ring tournament is shaping up as being the following. IRS taking on Mabel in first round action, and Razor Ramon will take on Bam-Bam Bigelow in the other first round match that are announced thus far. I think it's pretty obvious as to which match I would be most interested in. IRS against Mabel, because why not?
Sure.
Boring ass IRS against a guy that weighs 575 pounds. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing. This would be phenomenal. This weekend on WWF Superstars, Lex Luger. Yeah, remember him? Remember that guy that like slammed Yokozuna on July 4th and like
he was a big deal or something?
Yeah, he's going to win the WWF World Championship.
Yeah.
He didn't at SummerSlam. And then like he co-won the Rumble and then he failed at WrestleMania 10 because he sucks. He's Lex Loser, as the signs in the crowd would let you know. Dating back to the time when he couldn't ask out a girl on a date, had to play the flute, had to be an athlete, was an NFL star despite never actually playing it down in the NFL. But hey,
never did a drug in his life.
Never did a drug in his life, and it turns out I did only drugs like when I didn't know they were illegal and like only to help me heal from injuries. But that's what are you talking about? It's totally normal. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Well, he will be taking on a man who thinks he is a country music star, and he's going to use the WWF to showcase that. That's right, Jeff Jarrett. They'll be squaring off on Superstars and another qualifying match for the King of the Ring. And you better bet your Rudy Poo candy ass that we will be talking about that show, or excuse me, that match next week here on ICOPOD.
And so as soon as Todd announces this, I'm thinking
that's a big qualifying match, to be honest.
It is. And I'm
compared to what we've seen so far.
Right. And I'm kind of looking forward to it, right? It's a relatively, like you said, big match. But then I'm thinking, okay, poor fucking Lex Luger, because here you go, Lex. Here's this big win you've waited 1.5 years for. Your King of the Ring qualifying match. Oh, SummerSlam? Oh no. Oh, Royal Rumble? No. You don't get that. You're gonna hold out for that just sweet, sweet victory of a King of the Ring qualifier match. You're gonna hold out hope for that match, and you're gonna get your big win. That's all I could think of. Like, they're finally giving him a bone. But, like, the bone is fucking minuscule at best. Because is Lex Luger going to make it to the finals of the King of the Ring tournament? Abso-fucking-lutely not. There's no way. And if he does, here's a kick in the nuts. Your bitch ass ain't winning again in a main event. Fucking again.
We'll let you get so close and then you failed.
It's like the opposite of the Undertaker effect, right? So when Undertaker's at WrestleMania, it's a foregone conclusion. Like, he's going to win up until when Brock beat him. If you know you're main eventing against Lex Luger, you're winning. Yeah. It's like the opposite Undertaker. It's great. It's awesome. And it's not just WrestleMania. It's every fucking pay-per-view that he might happen to be on. You're beating him. Like, if you're on the booking sheet, right? And you're fucking Bret Hart. You see Bret Hart, Lex Luger. Bret's like, fuck. I can't believe it. I am going over tonight. He hasn't even talked to Vince. He hasn't talked to Lex. He hasn't talked to nobody. Yeah. Fuck yeah, I'm winning. I'm keeping the belt tonight. Like, It's pretty pathetic. So Lex better fucking savor the flavor, baby, because again, it ain't gonna last long. Son of a bitch getting screwed again. You just mark my words. Wait for it, because it's coming. If I was him, dude, I would have literally asked for a release out of my contract. Don't even pay me the money you owe me, or whatever. Like, don't even pay me for the dates that if you got to cut me off, cut me off. I'm fucking out of here. I'm done.
If let's say Luger did that, right? And they gave it to him, knowing that Hogan is going to WCW, how quickly does Eric Bischoff sign Luger and then do Hogan Luger?
I'm thinking as soon as he steps out of Vince's office, he's getting in a plane and he's going to Eric's office and signing a contract. I'm thinking it's immediate.
So like Starrcade 94, it's Hogan Luger. Or sooner than that. Because right now we're in May, so he's got to fight Flair.
Sooner than that, because I think, I hate to say it, Lex, old buddy, old pal, but I think WCW even knows that, Starrcade main event,
the fans are going to know you're going to lose, pal.
We'll see your bitch ass at Halloween Havoc.
You're gonna be the first guy ever to lose at WrestleMania in the main event and in the main event at Starrcade in the same year. So for two different promotions, we're basically telling you you're not good enough.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's interesting to think about, but I don't know if they would have, necessarily put all their eggs in that basket. Right. It'd be pretty hard to after the fucking run he's had in 93 and 94 at this point. So
I feel bad for Lex.
I do too, man, because you know what? As much as I like rag on him and have historically never enjoyed any of his matches, I think as a wrestling.
Whoa. Hold up. No. You were all about the Lex Express. You were on, to see your face right now is even proving my point. You were on that goddamn bandwagon. You were in that van. You were in that van sucking his dick right next to Carl, who was all like, yeah, I think Lex Luger's going to win tonight here in Auburn Hills. You were in the back of that van just waiting to swallow his load. And you're trying to tell me right now that you're like, oh, I never really enjoyed his matches or like anything. Get the fuck out of here. I was a clear fan of the Narcissist, and as soon as he switched to this godforsaken suit wearing awful theme music guy, I jumped off and you jumped right on. So you cannot turn around here now that he's a bona fide loser and try to tell me that you didn't really enjoy Lex Luger matches, because that is a blatant lie.
So I still am on the Lex Express. I still am. But with that said, I know the difference between the wrestling personality Lex Luger and the wrestling talent Lex Luger. I like Lex Luger as a wrestling personality. I like him on the show. Whatever he's doing, cool. Did I like the Narcissist? No, because it wasn't really showcasing his wrestling personality, I don't think. I don't know if Lex knows how to be a heel. Does he even know?
That's a really good question.
I don't think he knows.
He probably, for the Narcissist, Luger,
it was easy because he didn't have to say anything. He just had to pose.
No,
and
but the thing is, what I'm saying though is he probably looked at Vince and he was like, "So you're telling me I just got to be myself?"
Yeah.
Well, yeah, son. That's all. I mean, I can do that.
Right.
You think they're gonna boo me though? Like, I'm a nice guy. It's like, no, they'll boo you.
Yeah. So I don't know. For me, man, I think having him on your show isn't bad. But historically, like, I've never gone out of my way to be like, holy shit, let me go watch a Lex Luger match. Because I don't give a fuck. What does Lex do in the ring that I'm interested in? Fucking nothing. Am I interested in him being a fucking moron and standing on top of his bus on the side of the freeway posing in fucking Zubaz pants? Absolutely I am. Put that shit on TV and I'm watching. You put him in a match against Yokozuna? No, I don't give a fuck. Get his ass back up on the bus. Let me see that again.
Oh my God.
That's where I'm at with it. So you know what, man? If he's in the tournament, cool. If he's not, fucking go work the popcorn stand, dude. Like, what the fuck? Are you even a wrestler? Like, can you do anything? What can you do?
Can you win at anything in life?
Win anything.
Yeah.
Like, Lex right now is the type of guy who's going to like the state fair and playing like the duck ring toss, and he fucking misses every time. But he's paying his quarter every time. Like, dude, this is the time. I'm going to fucking get it this time. And the guy's like, I don't know, Lex, you might get it. And then he fucking misses again. And Lex is just like, oh, fuck it, I'll do it again. And it's just like, dude, what are you doing? Just stop.
He just comes across to me right now as a complete jabroni.
Just a moron. Lex
Like
is a moron.
He's a mid card guy. Like, I can't see him now. Like,
No,
before I
agree.
could understand why he's in the main event and stuff. Like, he came across like he was on a different level than the majority of the other guys.
Yes.
But he is free falling.
Yes. Completely.
Free falling. To the point where it's like, Tatanka probably has more value than Luger. And Tatanka's free falling himself.
I would agree with you. I would agree
when
with
I
you.
saw, like, name value wise, it's a big match for the qualifier, but it's not like a main event guy against a main event guy. It's like, this is a mid card guy against another mid card guy. Here's your feature match. Oh, cool. This is a great match. This is a high profile match.
And you know what? I think that's why I'm almost interested in it, because finally Lex is being booked with a guy who's kind of in his league right now. Like, he's not being out booked. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Jared's been equally poorly booked.
Exactly. So like, I'm kind of
so
into
someone's got to win here.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So
that's bad. Well, our next match features a guy that has won. He's won quite a bit. In fact, he's a new champion. WWF Intercontinental Champion Diesel is in singles action against Mike Maraldo.
Diesel had sex hair for this match. He came out. It looks like he was just banging Sean in the fucking backstage area.
He probably was. We're getting close to their 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, like he came out with definite, like, clear sex hair. Like, he didn't put a brush through that before he came out.
Maybe he was.
Sean was running his fingers through that hair. before Diesel came out tonight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's
Diesel
definite.
emptied his gas tank right into that one.
Oh yeah, he
There
filled
he
Sean's
is.
tank up. Boy,
There
did
he
he.
is.
Big Daddy, big cool daddy filled
Big
him
cool
up.
daddy. Cool daddy in the house.
Fuck.
Diesel tosses Moraldo down on the mat and over the tops of the floor with one hand. Follows up with a big boot in the ring. And he's just destroying Moraldo throughout the match here. Bear hug by Diesel, and he simply tosses Moraldo down to the mat. Diesel with a sidewalk slam, and he chokes Moraldo in the corner. Diesel proceeds to finish Moraldo off with the jackknife powerbomb, and he picks up the easy win.
Yeah, Diesel killed this fucking guy. From the bell, the moment the bell rang, he's killing him. And this is the type of shit I like. Let's go back to Yokozuna 93, where he's getting these awesome squash matches, just killing motherfuckers. I'm into that. I like that. I like Diesel right now. The only takeaway I had from this match, though, is again, they're pulling this shit with like using a match as a vehicle to get other shit over. So Vince is on, he's talking about fucking just bullshit after bullshit thing, not really paying attention to the action of the ring. I'm getting sick of that, man, because they keep doing it. And it's usually matches that I kind of want to watch, and I'm being distracted by that. So he's putting over the tour dates. Diesel's hitting these killer moves. And then Vince references Sean being MIA. He says, oh, after partying in the Miami area with a bunch of celebrities that Vince names off, we haven't seen him. So he's like, but who cares? Like, talk about Diesel. And then
Cool
guess
daddy.
what else? Yeah, cool daddy. And then guess what else Vince puts over? Oh, you know, the fucking sumo fucking match. Again. Let me enjoy Diesel, you bastards. Stop making me want to skip the match because you're talking about bullshit on commentary. So that's where I was at with it. It was a good squash. Diesel looks like a monster. He's going in with major momentum against Bret, which again worries me even more because he ain't walking out the WWF champion. I don't care what happens. He ain't winning. You cannot convince me that Diesel's winning, unfortunately. So it's bittersweet because they're setting his ass up because you know he ain't going to win. So what are we doing?
You got to build him up a little bit, pal, and have him
Okay.
lose. It's fine. Listen. I just hope as long as Bret doesn't make him tap in the middle of the ring and you have Diesel tapping like a little bitch, you'll get out of it. No issue. But
I mean, I guess.
I can see Diesel going for a jackknife and then Bret countering with like an inside cradle and like stealing a win or something.
And that would be fine. That would be fine. But at the same time, if you're going to do this with Diesel, man, and he's fucking this monster, are you going to make him look like an idiot that quick? Like, oh, Bret pins him that quick? Like, come on. Yeah. I don't know.
Speaking of idiots, we go to a video of some guy pumping gas saying that he saw The Undertaker while pumping his gas.
God damn it. Son of a bitch. I'm taking this.
Yeah, go ahead.
You just shut up over there.
You love these little vignettes of The Undertaker doing normal everyday things. So go ahead.
Okay, so here we have fat guy's pumping gas. Says he sees a big black hearse coming down the road. Because that's normal, right? Might be a funeral or something like that. Sure. Undertaker was not only seen, Undertaker is seen standing on top of the hearse as it's coming down the road. Mm-hmm. Then this guy says he was staring so hard that he's spilling gas all over himself while he's watching a 7-foot zombie standing on top of a hearse for seemingly no reason as it drives by. And this is just some road in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, right? We're just supposed to believe this. And then he says, as Undertaker's hearse passes, Undertaker disappears. What?
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay, so we're supposed to just not question anything about any of that,
Well, it's just like a few weeks ago when he had this 6-foot sub.
and just disappeared.
Just disappeared out of the sub shop right down the streets of New York or whatever.
Right,
It was.
thin air.
Yeah, it's
Gone.
normal.
So as Undertaker's standing on the roof of this moving vehicle, like he's rocking the fucking cash bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy's spilling gas all over himself, and somehow gets on WWF programming to like relay the story. Okay. To top it all off, Vince compares these recent Undertaker sightings to Ripley's Believe It or Not, and that the fact that it's word of mouth and what can you believe and what can't you believe at this point. And if that's the whole fucking payoff, is that punchline and that comparison, like, I'm canceling my fucking subscription to the WWE Network, and we're not doing ICOPOD anymore.
Well, what the hell, man?
Because these are absolutely bona fide, steaming piles of garbage. They make no sense. They're character killers. They do not credit or advance the Undertaker storyline whatsoever. Mind you, it was kind of in shambles because we basically saw his ghost float to the fucking ceiling. I don't know how you come back from they've reached the point of no return. Like, you can't bring Undertaker back at this point, because are people going to laugh at him and expect him to come out with a fucking 6-foot sub on the top of a hearse? I don't know. I don't know what these are building to. I don't get it. I don't find them funny, and I think you're supposed to find them funny. I don't think they're funny.
They're not. There's no comedic value to them.
There's no value to them at all. Like, they offer me nothing. If anything, it's a negative impact on even the Undertaker character, which, mind you, I didn't really like to begin with. So now I'm really not looking forward to him coming back, because they've hyped him up like he's fucking Duke the Drumster Drosy.
But he's dead.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these, and I roll my eyes every time.
It's just so stupid. So stupid. Like, spare me the stupidity. Like, I don't need it. Give me a fucking break.
Well, the stupidity for this program does not end there, because we have another segment here. It's the King's Court with Jerry Lawler. Lawler is disgusted by all the fans in attendance, and he can't wait to get his hands on Roddy Piper at King of the Ring, which will be the greatest day for him. He said that he did some research as to why Piper started wearing a dress. He says that Piper was drafted to go into the Army, but showed up in a dress with high heels and wasn't accepted as a result. And that was right before we go to a commercial.
Ooh, good one, King. Like, okay.
Same as line where it's like, well, the dad wanted a son and the mom wanted a girl, and they were both happy. Back from a commercial break, Ted DiBiase and Nikolai Volkov are in the ring, and DiBiase again notes that Volkov is his newest purchase. That's right. Volkov now works for Ted DiBiase, although Volkov doesn't really like Ted. Volkov tells DiBiase that, in fact, he hates him. DiBiase tells Volkov that he does not approve of his appearance. He proceeds to rip off Volkov's hat and gives Volkov tights to put on that says "Property of the $1 Million Man." DiBiase also tells Volkov to take off the jacket that he is wearing. Volkov begins to cry as DiBiase mentions, "Hey, do you want to feed your kids? I'm paying you. That's the only way you can feed your kids." So DiBiase insults Volkov by giving him a tuxedo shirt, kind of showing that Volkov is so poor that he can't afford a tuxedo. He can afford a tuxedo shirt to give the impression that it is a tuxedo. The shirt has 2 cents signs on it, and it also says "Property of the $1 Million Man." Volkov holds the rose for DiBiase as the segment ends. So the idea here being that Volkov is so low on the totem pole that he's worth cents to DiBiase. Do you think you can get yourself behind a Volkov DiBiase angle in 1994?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm lukewarm on this.
Okay.
Because I think it's a classic sort of storyline for a guy like Ted DiBiase. Makes 100 complete sense. Perfect. But why is it Nikolai Volkov? That's the only part of the puzzle that I don't think fits. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the gear that DiBiase gives him way more than the fucking gear he was wearing. So, like, I'm cool with that. But again, I think there was other options and avenues they could have gone with to fit the story. I mean, fuck. 1, 2, 3 kid, right? This newcomer at this point, still really kind of still unestablished, has known to steal money before. Fuck, he'll do anything for money to get on the show, to get a shot. I know it's not the most honorable thing, but Mr. DiBiase, if you want to give me a chance, buy me and I'll fucking win some matches for you. Just trying to get my name out there.
There has to be a better like 1980s wrestler option than Nikolai Volkov.
I don't want any 1980s guys though.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but as long as you pick a guy that is like a decent worker. I feel like Nikolai Volkov wasn't ever really that great of a wrestler.
Not in WWF.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. So there's got to be like a better option.
It's just not a good fit. It's
like
just
Demolition Axe. Come on out.
Warrior.
Just walk right out. I need help. Help me out. Haku runs out. I fucked up. That fish company didn't really pan out. Kamala
fucked up.
Kamala come. It should have been. You know what? Oh my god! This is how you can Kamala.
You could have done Kamala.
You have Kamala come back out.
You could have.
And he is like speaking perfect English.
DiBiase's put him through school.
Well, yeah, he just goes, hey, he'd be like, hey, Lawler, I'm working with DiBiase because that fucking kimchi was swindling my money for fucking 6 years. I got nothing. So this guy is giving me like a ham sandwich and about $8 a match. That's good for like 6 months for me. So I'm going to go kick some ass. All right. See you guys later. And then, that's your angle. But instead we go Nikolai Volkov.
He's got the little send sign on his loincloth.
Yeah. Instead of the moon and stuff on his belly, it's just like send.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know.
That's how you get Kamala back on TV.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's really the only puzzle piece that doesn't fit is it's Nikolai Volkov. Like, first of all, does anybody really care? Realistically.
No, there's no way.
In 94, no. They don't care. Secondly, how bad of a styles clash is that with pretty much anybody he's going to get in the ring with? Horrible. So I don't know. I don't really see the benefits for this angle, especially since it's centered around somebody who's not going to be able to deliver when it comes to having a match and a blow-off. Even if it's Ted versus Volkov at the end of it. Like, that's not going to be good.
No.
As much heat as you want to put behind it, it's not going to be good. So even though I like the angle idea and wish they would have used it for somebody else, it's still not enough to keep me into it. Although Savage here I thought was ironic, says where money lies, honor dies. And I was thinking was, boy, Randy, just give it a little bit longer. Because that's exactly where you're going to be, buddy.
Yeah.
So I did want to make note of that I picked up on that immediately. I am interested to see just kind of where this train derails, because it's going to. It's like you're waiting for the car crash at the end. You see the drunk driver. You see the guy pulling across the fucking median through a red light.
Yeah, you see it a mile away.
A crash is coming. You can't stop it. It's too late. So you just kind of want to see things go through, and hopefully everybody's okay at the end, but you kind of know you might not see either driver again after this.
Do you think that Nikolai Volkov will be in the WWF by the end of the year?
No.
I give him till SummerSlam. I say by September. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way he's making it till the end of the year.
There's
Absolutely
no way.
not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I think we get this angle out of him. They have him on Raw a couple more times, and then you just never see him again. That's what I think we're going to get.
Yeah. I doubt he's under a contract. It's probably like a pay-per appearance.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's like a handshake agreement. I'm sure that's what it is. Yeah. So.
Well, our next match is really for a guy that we haven't seen on Raw on a regular basis at all since WrestleMania 10.
Shit.
It's our third contest. It's Owen Hart, who defeated Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10, taking on Tony Roy. Hart starts off with a short arm clothesline, hits a fist drop off the middle of the rope in a gut wrench suplex. Roy rams Hart headfirst into the turnbuckle, but misses a drop kick, allowing Hart to quickly lock in the sharpshooter, and he wins the match. After the match, Owen says that he's going to beat Bret Hart again, and he proceeds to attack Roy with a spinning heel kick. It was at least great to see Owen Hart on television again, considering it's been about 2 months with really no follow-up. I'm sure you got like a boner from this or something because you're a huge Owen Hart fan. So,
well, and it's just first of all, this was a very quick match.
Very quick.
They did not get much time here, but fucking finally, Owen is on. It's been way too long. Maybe to the point where he might have even lost a little bit of steam from being.
Just because you forget,
right?
There's no like when you're at such a peak and then you don't follow up on it.
It's like he's not important.
Yeah, like it's not gonna. That peak's not gonna stay there. It's gonna start dipping a little bit.
Yes, and it's
interest,
right? And it's sad to say for me, that's kind of how I felt as Owen was coming out. It's like shit. It's been so long. It's almost like, are people going to stop caring about that feud, or is Owen just going to go back to being a lukewarm heel again? I don't want that. Not at all. He needs to be as hot as he's ever been. So, I mean, with all things considered, this Tony Roy, it was funny because at the end of the match here, of course, he keeps the sharpshooter on a little bit long after the match or whatever. Again, we're getting action taken away from the ring as Vince is having Savage read USA plugs. Vince is mentioning some Hall of Fame inductions. Just not paying attention to the action in the ring at all. As Owens, putting the boots to this guy, gets the submission victory. And then following the match, Owens continually calling out to Bret, who at this point, I don't know, must be ignoring him. Because we've heard nothing from Bret Hart about Owen Hart. And then Owen hits the guy with a wheel kick, as Bob mentions, and he puts the glasses on him and says right into the camera, "Look, it's you, Bret." And the guy kind of looked like a shitty Bret Hart. He had like the long black squiggly hair with the fucking glasses on. So that was kind of funny. Then he just slaps the guy down and like taunts or whatever, walks out. But it just makes me so annoyed because you have a feud like this on the back burner. And then in the forefront, you're giving us Bret Diesel with really no backstory, no buildup, doesn't make sense. The blow-off's not going to make sense. Trapped in a corner when you have the obvious and easy 6-month to a year feud with Bret and Owen. And you're just not doing it. So it's a little bit of a bummer, but any Owen we can get, I'll take. So with that said, was it a standout enhancement match? No, but at least we fucking saw the guy. At least we know he's there still.
Yeah, you could have fooled us into thinking he wasn't even with the company anymore.
Right. He pulled a Kurt Hennig and fucking packed up shop. He's going to WCW.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? So.
Well, have no fear about a garbage man coming to the WWF, Austin. Because we got another vignette. Duke the Dumpster Droese, who was sleeping in a garbage truck. But he wakes up when the camera gets on him and he says he's ready to clean up the WWF and get rid of some trash when he arrives.
What a dynamic superstar.
Love it.
Guy's sleeping under a cardboard box blanket in the back of a dumpster.
Is he homeless or is he a garbage guy?
He just wakes up. Huh? You woke me up. I'm I'm going to be at the WWF soon, so look out. And then he like rolls over and puts the cardboard back on.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. Don't even come. Just stay sleeping in that goddamn dumpster. Like, we don't want you. At this point, I don't want him. I'm over it. Fucking over it. Now what? Now this guy's going to take away TV time from Owen Hart? Fuck off.
Yeah, we got Duke Drosy and Nikolai Volkov.
Give me a fucking break. It's a bunch of bullshit, man. Good Lord.
That's a win. That is a win for us.
Right. That's a Lex Luger win.
Yeah.
So in essence, a loss.
That's a loss.
Right.
Yeah. But for Luger, that's like, wow, I'm doing pretty well for myself.
Well, shit, that ain't too bad.
Hey, at least we're trying.
Christ. So stupid.
The ring crew is seen taking down the ropes because we got to get ready for our first ever sumo wrestling match.
Here we find the hits have not stopped coming this episode, okay? Can we just recap the last three things, right? Fucking good God. Fucking Volkov Ted. Barely any Owen action. Then we get a fucking Duke Drosy shit. Now we're going right into the sumo match, dude. That's like the holy trinity of bullshit of pro wrestling.
You want to find 3 bad segments? Watch this show.
There you fucking go. Like, I really, you know what? I was looking forward to this for the simple fact that I knew this episode was going to be over after that. So I was like, fuck, bring on the sumo match. It's not like they haven't been talking about it all fucking night.
Right.
I'm real excited for it.
For the previous 38 minutes, we have not heard of that all night long.
And even the episode prior, like last week, they talked about it quite a bit.
Yeah, they were teasing it. Yeah.
So,
before we get to the sumo wrestling match, though, there is a hype video for a King of the Ring qualifying match taking place next week on Raw, as it will be Owen Hart taking on Earthquake.
I'm here for it. I'm down for that.
It's an intriguing match.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, if Owen were to lose, like, it's an Earthquake.
Motherfucker.
I mean, what are we doing?
Good God.
King Earthquake.
Don't give him any ideas, dude. King Quake.
King Quake.
They'll make a fucking cereal out of it. Be selling it on Super.
No, they could. But before we get to any kind of qualifying match next week, this week, our main event is Earthquake taking on Yokozuna in the first ever sumo wrestling match. They start off by standing in the middle of the ring, squatting down, waiting for the other man to make a move. But it's like a first date. Neither one want to make the first move because they don't want to, press their luck or anything. So they stall for a few moments. Now they go back to their corners twice without even touching each other.
They
so
like
really
doing like the salt and like the stereotypical like sumo shit. And mind you, all I'm thinking in my head at this point, because now they're just stalling for a solid 5 minutes, if not more.
I feel like the producer was like, listen, quick, Yoko, I need you guys to go 6 minutes. And I guarantee you they looked at each other and they're like, yo, let's stall for 4.
Literally.
And they're like, perfect.
Literally. So all I'm thinking in my head at this point is, right? And Savage even says it on commentary. Savage says, one of these guys losing means they lose face once this is said and done. And that's true. But if Yoko loses, how can you have any interest in him at all? Because being a sumo wrestler is literally his fucking gimmick.
Yeah.
That's like somebody fighting Undertaker, like, oh, who's the more dead guy? And then the guy beats him. And it's like, it's John Tenta. Like, we're going to have a dead guy match.
Yeah.
Whoever's more dead wins. And John Tenta beats him. I mean, he'd beat him these days, but that's besides the point. Because, John Tenta.
He's dead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But no, it's so stupid. Like, I'm not even going to keep going, Bob. Just keep going.
Earthquake gets a few shoulder blocks on Yokozuna, but Yoko goes behind Quake. But then Earthquake reverses, and he goes behind Yoko. Yoko with a back elbow, and they grab each other by the tights in the middle of the ring, kind of like hugging each other. Yoko has Earthquake by the edge of the ring, but Earthquake pushes Yokozuna backwards, Earthquake tries to shove Yokozuna out of the ring, but is unable to do so. So Quake is able to break free from Yoko's grip, and he shoves Yoko down to the mat, and Yoko rolls to the floor, allowing Earthquake to win the match. After the match, Randy Savage, as seemingly every single time anything monumental happens for a babyface, enters the ring, raises the arm of Earthquake, and he celebrates as if he had anything to do with it. This was awful. It was bad. It was just bad TV. I mean, really, they set themselves up to do absolutely nothing.
I'm gonna focus on the positives first, and there ain't many.
That it ended.
There ain't many.
Okay.
First of all, John Tenta in the sumo gear is a much more flattering outfit than his usual one. You can't tell that he's got like two guts.
He looked thinner.
So like that was kind of cool. Like holy shit, like he kind of looks in okay physical condition in this outfit. So I'll give him credit there. That was a positive. Anytime you see Jim Cornette, it's a positive. And he was trying his damnedest to sell the drama of this on the outside because he was in several different shots. I'll give him credit there. Savage and Vince just trying, for once, not worrying about bullshit plugs, trying to get the match over on commentary to be something.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Beyond that, just look at the crowd. The crowd doesn't give a fuck. And even when they get close to the edge, they kind of like look and be a little excited. But at the same time, the finish comes, dude, and nothing happens. The finish, literally, Yokozuna throws himself off the ring platform.
He had to like roll over.
Right. So it's like Quake does like a thrust, knocks Yoko down on the mat. Yoko rolls over and like bounces out of the ring. Yeah. So the whole drama for the match, the whole story is that they go toe to toe. They reverse each other's grips and go back to the middle of the ring. And then there are earthquakes on the edge. And then Yoko's on the edge. We don't even see a guy get pushed off the fucking edge. Like that's the story they're telling. We see a guy get throat thrusted and then he drops to the mat and then goes off the side of the ring. So it's just the execution was horrible. There was nothing exciting. The drama was very transparent and like not good. I don't know what the point of all that was. I don't know what. First of all, Yoko lost. So if you ever are going to take Yokozuna serious again, get out of my face. Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear it. Make him Yoko Claus at this point.
Yeah.
Fucking throw the hat on him.
Do it.
Throw the hat on him.
I hope that comes back at the end of the year.
I hope it does too. I'll be behind that now. Because he has zero credibility to me.
I was just going to ask you, because you lose the
zero.
Yeah, you lose the Quake. I mean, Quake, them addressing Quake as a sumo wrestler kind of like breaks kayfabe.
Well, yeah, because then they have to make shit up for Yokozuna, which is fake.
Right, but like before, I don't think they ever mentioned that Quake had any sumo background. Because that's just a guy that was a tremor.
You're right.
Yeah,
it's got nothing to do with a guy who's fucking Earthquake.
Right. So
what the fuck? Now
maybe they did that because if they didn't address it as being like, oh hey, Quake has experience and Yoko loses, then Yoko's gonna look like an idiot.
Fucked. Yeah.
But if you at least address like, oh, this guy's really accomplished at sumo wrestling, and then he beats Yoko, it's like, well, maybe he was better than Yoko at that anyway.
Yeah, which is horrible though, because that's his fucking gimmick.
I'm not excusing it because I think it's poor, but I can see the attempt that they were trying to make.
I mean, yeah, like you said, if they hadn't addressed that, that would have been 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. For me, like, you might as well write Yokozuna off. Just write him off TV. And like I told you before, you might as well pair Fuji up with Tenta and have Tenta be your new Yokozuna. And he's the new sumo guy. I guess. Is that what you do? Or does Tenta go back to putting on his Earthquake gear and I'm going to be fun Earthquake and high five the fans and, I don't know, be the Jolly Green Giant? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
it's stupid. It's literally solves nothing. And if anything, it causes more problems in the storylines for both guys. Like, Quake's not going to do anything. What is Quake going to do?
Yeah, he's not going to do much of anything.
Right. And then Yoko can't do anything. If anything, he's going to have to go back to the bottom. He's back at the bottom of the pile. Yokozuna's he's going to be lucky if he gets a shot at the IC title, in my opinion.
I just think it's hilarious that 2 out of the 3 guys involved in the main angle at WrestleMania 10, Yokozuna and Lex Luger, are arguably 2 of the biggest jokes in the company right now.
Absolutely. The biggest disappointments. Yeah. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
And I don't even think it's even a little bit close. And Bret Hart has like no challengers now as a result. Like, aside from Owen, there's no viable other opponents for him.
Right, because you don't buy in Diesel this early.
You can't.
Yoko is literally nothing and probably should never be granted a shot at the WWF title ever again. At this point.
Yeah. No, yeah. If they were the next week be like Yokozuna and Bret Hart at King of the Ring, if we didn't know about Diesel, I would laugh because there's no way to believe in that.
Not even fucking close.
Yeah.
Not even close. And it's sad because I really liked Yokozuna. I really did. So
yeah, now you've jumped off.
Oh yeah. Fucking
the main event run for Yokozuna died on this day.
Yes, it did. Absolutely. I was holding out hope. It was like the eternal flame. Like, I'm not gonna let it burn out. I'm gonna fucking save this as long as I can. And then big old fucking John Tenta Earthquake just comes out and just pisses right on the flame. It's like, well, I did all I could. I stood by you as long as I could. The fire I had before you for fucking Adam Bomb got pissed out a long time ago. Yeah. I tried saving yours. Fucking couldn't. Sure did. So I don't know, man. Bummer. But yeah, stick a fork in him because he is done in my book.
I would have to think that would be the case for a lot of people.
Yeah.
At this point. But before this show is over with, Vince McMahon and Randy Savage hype up what we just witnessed with Earthquake defeating Yokozuna. Of course, now next week on Raw, Earthquake will square off against Owen Hart in a King of the Ring qualifying match. And that wraps up the show. For me, overall, this show, I don't want to say laughable, but holy hell. Like, what are we... If Sparky Plug had won the opening match, this show would have been easily the funniest show I had ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Bigelow went over. But then you incorporate the Volkov DiBiase segment, which unintentionally funny. Duke Droese falling asleep in a garbage truck. And we're supposed to believe that this guy's going to light the world on fire when he enters the WWF. And then, of course, a ridiculous sumo match. It's just like, what did I watch for 44 minutes? Why did I sit through? Yeah. Why did I sit through this? This seems like a bad decision. It seems like the WWF is kind of veering off from in-ring. And it's like, let's be so different. Like smoke and mirrors. That it's memorable for that instead of memorable for in-ring wrestling. So instead of like, oh, Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage is a really good match, it's like, they're more focusing on a version of like King Kong Bundy destroying midgets. Like that's what we want to focus on.
Yeah.
That's where we are right now.
Right. Exactly.
That type of WWF.
Exactly. Yeah, they're more in it for like the spectacle.
Yes.
Rather than the quality. Like, let's just get like general public eyes on the TV show because, hey, maybe they'll think two fat guys in a sumo match will be funny and like interesting.
Yeah.
It felt very much like a marketing TV show, not a wrestling TV show. Let's market to the general fucking 9 p.m. channel surfers. Let's market to them. Let's talk about our fucking revenge tour. Let's talk about USA Network programming. Let's talk about anything we can other than pro wrestling. Let's keep that to a fucking minimum. Oh, Owen Hart's on the show who can wrestle his ass off. Yeah, give him 3 minutes. Diesel's in a squash match who could probably put together a pretty decent one. Give him one, but that's all he gets. Because, he's only fighting for the WWF Championship pretty soon. So it doesn't matter.
That's right.
We should dedicate 30 fucking 2 minutes to this week? The Sumo Match. And let's talk about it. And let's promote it. And let's show videos. And then let's do like opening ceremonies and a stall job. And then let's get into the Sumo Match. And then let's have that close out our show. Fuck me. Skippable. Absolutely skippable. Run away from this episode. If you're going through 94, please, by the love of God, don't let anybody around you know that you watched this episode. Don't tell them.
I hope nobody else does a podcast dedicated to this episode like we did.
Yeah, one is enough in the world. And not only that, not only to rag on the Sumo Match, but right now for me, I'm just not invested in enough storyline angles to really care about anything we saw in this week's episode.
Yeah.
Other than Diesel squashing a guy and Owen Hart being still around at least. What do I give a fuck about? I mean, you know what? At least the tournament at this point isn't going to be a complete joke. Maybe like a small one, but not a complete one. So that's kind of good. But other than that, man, at this point right now in 94, it's kind of like the last 3 weeks have been kind of a chore to get through. And I hate saying that because I really enjoy doing this, but it's been kind of a chore.
This month has been brutal.
It's been brutal. Yeah. And we knew it was going to be because, again, there were so many weekly shows to get through that, of course, some of them are going to be stagnant. Yeah. I was just not hoping the majority were. We're kind of getting to that fucking point where the fucking majority is feeling pretty stagnant.
I kid you not, dude. Because, of course, we record 2 episodes every time we sit down. The second one, I'm going to have to reload my cup here and put some more vodka cranberry in it because I don't know if I can do the next one sober.
Yeah, it's for somebody who doesn't drink, Bob, let me tell you, you're a lucky bastard because I'm sitting through this shit clear-headed, trying to make the best of it, and boy, it's tough. Yeah. It really is. But with that said, would I still watch this over an episode of Raw next week in 2019? Absolutely.
Right.
You're goddamn right I would.
Of course.
So, there's that at least. Yeah. But yes, please skip this episode. Don't skip this episode of ICOPOD. Obviously you didn't because you've heard up until this point. Joke's on you. But yeah, this episode of Raw, we've seen some bad ones. And this is definitely in the same litter, I would say.
Yeah. But the thing is like, you'll notice probably by the how long this episode has been. Usually when the show sucks, it gives us more stuff to talk about.
And just laugh at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like bad that we maybe we do regret it, but it's bad to the point where we're laughing about it.
Well,
it's not like insulting us.
Yeah, and so we're the idiots, right? Because not only do we subject ourselves to the 45 minutes of Raw, then we come on and talk about it for fucking 2 hours. So we're the dumbasses. But that is what it is. You,
Yeah, it's
you
all right.
roll with the punches, as Piper would say.
Yeah, it's all right.
So
It's okay. We are greatly appreciated for our nonsense.
that's true.
Honestly.
That's true.
But if you have nothing else, that should pretty much wrap up a monumental 75th episode for us.
That does it for this week's nonsense, I would say.
Okay. Well, we got 25 more episodes before we get to the big 100. If we make it that far, who knows?
Right. We might be on life
God willing.
support by then.
Yeah, we might be dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully you guys enjoy our misery. Clearly you do, because you requested us to watch a show that fucking sucked before for 2.5 hours. So you guys must love it when we just hate ourselves.
The good old days.
Yeah. The good old days. Well, for Austin Skinner, I'm Bob Conley Jr., and this has been another mildly entertaining episode of ICOPOD.
You gotta hear it.